Okay.
I don't have any notifications on. Nothing should be coming through. Hopefully we're good.
Okay, let's give it a go.
We're going to claim it.
I'm going to go back to my little corner because it's a little more
Okay.
comfortable. And then I'm not staring close to myself.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's start over and tell us all about you. Go back.
Okay.
Tell us about Natasha.
Yes. So tell me how far you want me to go back, but
tell us
just
about
start
you.
off.
This is your stage, girlfriend.
Okay. Nicole said that we're good now. Okay, good. Hopefully we're going to stay connected. Everybody just like cross your happy energy internet connection fingers and hope we stay connected.
Your internet energy fingers.
Right. Okay. So I am Natasha Hemingway. I'm a sales coach. I am a speaker. I am a connector, and I'm a lover of like uplifting and supporting other women. It's actually one of my gifts. And I let me see how I started out. I'll tell you first. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was seeing like where other people are from. So I love seeing that. Drop where you're from. And tell me if you're coming to the Bloom Mom Tribe Conference.
Yes.
I want to know, because if you're coming, I want to meet you.
Yes.
So I'd love to see like where people are coming from and if you're coming to the conference
yes.
in Seattle. I cannot wait. It's going to be my first time out to Seattle. Super excited.
Oh, you're going to love
about
it.
coming.
Yes.
I've heard amazing things.
Yeah.
And so a little bit about me, I spent 16 years actually in medical sales, only with 2 different companies. I was 8 years in one, 8 years in the other, and ended up getting promoted out of that last company that I was in while I was promoting my first company, and then moving into a, Miranda said she's coming. Can't wait. I can't wait to meet you too.
She's our photographer.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be so good. So I got promoted in the last company that I was with, and I actually was the only African-American female senior territory sales manager across the country, across the division. And it was this position that I ended up working for 2 years. You have to have 2 years of proven sales experience. You have to clear amongst like your higher ups, VP of sales, all this stuff. You have to get approved. And I say that to say, like, not because I'm great or anything like that, but just to give you guys a little bit of the background as to what I'm about to say now. So I worked for this promotion, end up getting promoted, all to find out maybe about 5 months later, I end up getting pushed out of my job. And it was so devastating at the time. I didn't understand why. I was like, why me? Why is this happening to me? I've never had an HR violation. I've never gotten in trouble. Like all the things, right? And at the time, it felt like just hard. And I'll be honest, like I was caught up in the hustle, which I think a lot of us do, of making amazing money, and life was easy. And I was just grinding, like go, achieve the things, do the things, make the money. And then once that pivot happened, it literally put me in a position to think about, what am I actually doing? What do I want to do next? And more importantly, what am I called to do? Not like, oh, I'm just going to go jump and do this next thing, the same old thing, make even more money. But it was really, really this opportunity that I had, this sweet spot that I had to make a really big decision. And along with my husband, honestly, my husband had faith in me when I didn't have it in myself. And we decided to take a leap. We prayed about it, decided, got answers, got confirmation, and decided to take this big leap into the entrepreneurial world. And I will say this, the first leap that I took was into health coaching. And I thought like, okay, this is going to be it. And you guys, as you know, it's not where I am right now. And I say that to say, be flexible, right? This is a journey. Be flexible in your journey. Be willing to pivot, because I think sometimes when we get our mind set on something and we think it's going to be this, and then when it doesn't happen, we're devastated and we go back to just doing the thing that we're really not called to do, that's easy. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was another opportunity to say, okay, this was a season. I gained this, and now what's next? Because going back to the same old was not it. I knew it wasn't. Even my husband was like, we're not going back there. I know it might be easy, but we're not going back there. And we both knew that. And then after evolving and going through and just being patient, I call it my surrender season. Like I was like cracked open, like surrender, like on my face, like, what am I going to do? What are my gifts? What am I good at? And during that time is when it started coming into alignment, and I got accepted into a international speaking program, coaching program, spoke in Canada a couple of times, started speaking in the US. And then through that came my coaching business. And so it was coaching around meaningful success, and helping and supporting other women go from career to calling. And then now it's moved into adding my sales experience into that part of my coaching business, because a lot of times women, we build businesses that we're passionate about, but passion doesn't equal profit. And so there's this disconnection where we're like, I know what I want to build. I'm passionate about it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. But then we forget, like, oh, I got to know how to sell that thing. I have to know how to deliver it. And that's kind of where Heart Not Hustle has literally evolved from. It's having the heart to go after the thing you're called to do, and also being able to show up in that so that you can actually run a business and actually sell and be profitable, so that you can have a sustainable business that serves and meets the needs of your ideal clients, population, niche market, whatnot. So that's kind of like the short story of kind of how I got here. But yeah, I'm so grateful to be able to do what I do and to be able to serve and impact the women that I get to serve and impact. So I never, ever take it for granted, because it's been a journey to get here.
Yeah, I know it has. And isn't it interesting that you probably coach women who are in similar positions that you were in corporate? Do you?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it like, well, that was a weird circle?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because one of my fellow coaching friends, we talk about that, how a lot of our clients, and I think this is for a lot of us, is that the people that you attract are more like you than not, right?
Yeah,
They've either had a similar background, or they connect some way to you, your story, your journey. And so a lot of my clients are women that are, they're passionate about what they do, and they're passionate about the impact that it has, and why they want to expand it and grow it and be profitable. And a lot of them do come from corporate backgrounds who are just tired of the hustle. They're sick of it, and they see the opportunity that's there, and they want to be wise about walking it out and doing it, so that they don't build something and then it crashes because it's doesn't have a sales process in place, or they're not able to confidently articulate that and communicate that so that it transfers over into sales. So absolutely.
Right. Okay. I like that. So tell us about your family. I know you're married.
Oh, yes, I am. I am married. I am a mom of 2 boys. One of our boys is an angel baby. We lost him in 2013. He was our newborn son. So I had carried him full term. So we always acknowledge his life and his presence. So I have one son who is my angel baby. And then we have our earthly baby, who is here, and he is 5 years old. So my husband, my son, and I reside here in Charlotte. And man, like motherhood. Woo.
Right. Oh,
get us right when we come to
mom life. You know what's so funny is last night was a night. It was a night, and I thought to myself, I know where the word shit show came from, because like parenting. I'm sorry, but I was trying to come up with a meme for it, and then I thought, I'm not even going to put that on Instagram. But holy cow, seriously, parenting sometimes is just like
It is the biggest, most challenging, most rewarding, most emotional roller coaster job you will ever have. It's like,
I know, and there's no amount of coaching. There's no amount of coaching that you can get for it, but you can study, you can read the books, you can listen to the podcasts, listen to the lunch and listens, talk to your friends. But in the end, it's all connection and, you know, just trying to be your best self, which I think is what we both want everybody to do. And that's what I envision for the moms that we touch with Bloom Mom Tribe. And I know that's what you envision for the women that you work with. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have any fur babies?
I do. I have a golden doodle. He just turned 1 in October. If you follow my stories, you'll see him. He is like a mini horse or a mini pony, because somebody was like, he's bigger than a mini horse. He is a standard golden doodle, and his name is Rex.
Rex. Okay, I'll have to check out Rex. Okay, and Gina's on here. She's our data wrangler. She's our numbers girl, and you'll get to meet her at Seattle. And I cannot wait for you to get there. And I just look at your beautiful, lovely hair, and you're always so put together. And maybe that's part of what you do as for your job. I mean, like, I'll hop on stories and I have no makeup on and my hat on, and I'm thinking, I'm not doing this right. But at least I'm putting myself out there. But you always look stunning. Like, do you roll out of bed looking ready to go to the mall? Because seriously.
No. Okay. No. Listen, I wake up. See, you don't even have to, you can't relate to this. I wake up with a black girl head wrap on. Okay. So there is a process to this. And I thought about exposing Instagram to it, and I'm like, they're not ready for that yet. They're not ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I want to see it. Oh,
girl,
do that on our Tuesday takeover. When you take over on a Tuesday on our thing, on our story.
Okay. Okay.
I'm ready.
Not mind.
Because we don't get it. We don't get it. Like, fuzzy hair. I didn't flat iron it today. That's my hair problem. But yours is, you have to deal with it.
Yes. Listen. I literally, like, hi, Karina. Hey, Hannah. I literally wrap down, like, my hair's wrapped, okay, at night. I'm just going to give y'all education, Black Hair 101.
Okay.
So it's wrapped at night. I'll show you how to take over. And then I comb it down, and it looks like this. Like, so I don't really have to do a lot to it.
Yeah.
So trust me, it's not like I just wake up like, no, there's a process.
Birds are singing around your head.
Do not get it twisted, Casey.
That is how beautiful you look all the time. But I have to tell you, you do really amazing marketing. I mean, your photos, you know what you're doing. And so let's dive in, because I know that that's a huge part of what you coach about is, you know, probably how you portray yourself and your business and your brand. So let's just dive in and talk about it. Hannah says she's ready for it, though. We want to see the wrap. I can't wait. I'm ready.
I got you, Hannah.
Okay.
When I do Tuesday Takeover, I got y'all. I'm going to get you from the beginning to the end.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay. So yeah, tell us, let's just dive into the, you know, what do you do? Where do you start when you're coaching somebody?
When it's around sales, believe it or not, it's not about your images. It's not about your branding and your images. Like, I believe, this is my thing. And even my branding and marketing manager, who helps me with my business, even with other friends that I have that do branding and own branding firms, like, seriously, it's the truth. Like, you cannot have branding photos, right? But you need to know how to sell in your business. So I literally help women with getting down to the bones of what is your authentic sales voice, having a sales process, knowing how to conduct sales calls, and working on the mindset. Because believe it or not, Casey, a lot of the mindset is what stops people from knowing their worth, communicating their value, asking for what they are worth, being unforgiving about their pricing. So believe it or not, I mean, branding and sales do kind of wash with each other, but branding is not, it's not the first thing I tell my clients, like, hey, go get a branding and marketing manager. I don't. Now, if they can afford it, sure, do them together. But if not, at the very least, you need to know how to sell, like, period. It's one of the pillars of your business. But also branding, I think it's also helping clients understand too, that branding is more than just photos, right?
Right.
It's your brand message.
It's personality and brand.
Absolutely. It's your brand message. It's your, you have your personal brand, you have your business brand, and then a lot of times those combine. Sometimes they're separate depending on the business. And so I also tell people to go get a branding consultation. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing that, because if you don't know the voice of your brand, you don't know your niche, then you can get lost and confuse the people that you're actually trying to talk to and attract. So, but I don't think it's so much about branding photos.
Okay. I like that. So,
oh yeah. Karina knows.
Yeah.
Karina knows. She was like, yeah, I'm big on that. Like, I know my lane, and I also will not waste a lot of time trying to do things that I know I'm not good at. Like, time is money. So I would rather find good pricing, someone who can work with me, someone that that's their lane, that's their level of expertise, and I will let them own that and guide me in that. I'm not a person where I'm gonna spend and waste a lot of time doing something I know I'm not good at, because I feel like that's wasteful. It's
right.
wasteful.
Well, then how do you push your clients then to figure out, is there a survey that you do or some sort of a sit down test that you do to let them figure out what they are best at and what they could probably, you know, back away from and give to somebody else to take care of? How do you do that?
Oh, that's so good. That is so good. That's actually a good
Delegating.
question. So when clients come to me, the first thing is, before they can even schedule a call, which anybody can schedule a 30-minute strategy call with me, free.
Okay,
I don't
take
charge for
note,
strategy
people.
calls.
Take note, people. 30-minute call free.
Yeah. I don't, and you can do it in the link in the bio. I do not charge people for strategy calls. Some people do, some people don't. I don't. And they fill out a form. Then we get on a call. And like, once we start moving to that point where we've made a decision and they've made a decision and it's a yes for both of us, because it has to be a good fit for me too. And so once we make that decision, one of our first calls is like analyzing where they are in their business. And like, let's say, for example, I had a strategy call with a potential client the end of last week, and immediately I was like, you might be at a point where you do need branding support along with your sales support. And then I have a strategic branding partner, and then I'm like, go set up a call. So it depends. And I think it's getting on the first call and evaluating where are their gaps? What are they struggling with? Is their brand even looking somewhat cohesive? So I think it's like evaluating that and asking, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And then what can you field out? Because there was another client that was like, I cannot afford branding at all at this time. But what I do know is I can take pictures with my iPhone. I can use what skills I do have, but I need to know how to communicate and be able to sell and close. And I'm like, that's what we're zoned in on, right? So I think it's a lot of just knowing from client to client and doing that big brain dump at the beginning.
It really varies, I'm sure.
For sure.
So then in total, how many years have you been doing this?
So I have had my business now. So I came out of corporate sales after 16 years in November 2016 and started my very beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. But as far as getting here in this sales coaching, so I started speaking in 2017. So that'd be 2 years going on 3. And then as far as actually coaching and building out, that would be going on 2 years.
Okay. So you've had plenty of experience, you know, dealing with, you know, and dealing with different clients. And so maybe can you give us an idea? Think back to one of your favorite clients. I'm sure they're all your favorite.
Does not always equate to just like money. It's not. It's a shift in confidence that then starts to equate to money. But people think it's like, oh, give me a script and let me close people and take my conversion rate from 50 to 70%. Well, no, it's a process. What's your mindset like? What are the things that are holding you back? What's wrong with your worth, your value, your money story, your abundant mindset or lack of abundant mindset? Like, what's going on there? And then building out a strategy that's authentic to your business, because it looks different for every single business that I encounter. It's completely different. And so to see her in a short amount of time, and I mean, when I say she's committed, she's committed. Like, I tell her to do things and she's like, okay, I'm going to implement it.
Oh no, you froze. Come back.
Sorry.
Come back. There you go.
Somebody just called in on my phone. I'm like, stop calling me.
Leave me alone. I know. I text my whole family. I'm on a lunch and listen, even though I have my notifications off. I've learned my lesson.
Like, stop. Yeah. Okay.
We're busy here. We're having a conversation.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and at first I had it on airplane mode and I thought it was like messing up the reception. So I came off of it. So
yeah, I think that could have been what it was. I like that. So, and Hannah says, yes, she totally gets it. I'm wondering if you're talking about Hannah. I could be, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Anyway,
I will never tell.
Okay. And that's the beauty of a coach. It's kind of like a doctor. You don't need to tell everybody's problems.
It's a contract.
Just fix
it's confidentiality for sure. It's contract. It's business.
I love that. Well, and okay, you mentioned how women can have a lack of abundance mindset, or just that
Mm-hmm.
some people do. But I think that there are so many women, and let's just get down to the point. There are so many
Yep.
moms that have that lack of abundance mindset, even though they're completely, you know, their life is full of abundance with healthy, happy children and their spouse or their significant other, and they've got their little home and they've got everything they need. But for themselves, they're missing that mindset
Yeah.
that they're enough, that they matter,
Yeah.
that their dreams and goals matter. And we all go through it. I'll have days
Yeah.
where I wake up and I'm like, oh, really, Kelsey? You know, I mean, we all have our pity party. It's just move on. You know, have your pity party
Yeah.
for 5 minutes, move on, because you are living an abundant life. You just have to put the mindset there that that's what's going on. So how do you get people to do that?
Yeah. I think it's one is, first of all, getting them to be vulnerable enough to share what's going on, right? Because
Right.
we're so busy doing the thing and covering up the thing. And so I think anytime you go into a coaching relationship, there's I'm big on like trust. And I tell my clients, listen, you're going to have to let me in, because if you're not willing to let me in, then I'm not going to be able to help you. And so I let them know, and I establish a relationship of trust and communication, and for my door to be open for them to come to me. Because believe it or not, I always tell people, I'm like, you think you're coming to me for a sales script, and that's not it. There's levels to this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there is levels to this thing, and it's deeper than just like, oh, like how can I sell this or that? But so around the mindset is like, number one, allowing them the space to be able to just dump it, right? Like let's talk about it. Let's dump it. Let's go there, right? Because we're so caught up trying to be and do for everybody else. And we forget what our own needs are, right? Or what we're lacking, or where we're kind of dry. Where's the well that's dry? And figuring out what those areas are, and then actually just start talking about how can we fix it, and not overwhelming people with like, I want you to change this and change that and change this. And so a lot of it is just taking simple steps, because when you overwhelm people, they're not going to do anything, right? Like you're not going to do everything. And then I ask them, are you willing to commit to this? You say you want this. You're saying this feels good to you and it feels in alignment and it's bringing you to a place of growth. Are you willing to commit to it? Because there's no reason for me to ask them to do something that they're not going to commit to.
Right.
And even before someone goes into coaching with me, I tell them, listen, I need you all in. I don't just need your money. Like I need you all in, because I'm giving you all that I have for your growth. And I need you to reciprocate that back to me, so that it's gonna, like, we can ensure that it's gonna happen, because I don't want you to waste your money.
Right.
And so it's a commitment.
Take them on. You take on their struggles. I bet
for
that's
sure.
kind of draining in a way, but exhilarating because you know you can fix their struggles.
Well, it actually isn't for me, because, and my husband actually asked me this. He's like, how do you take it on? And it's like, I'm responsible for my energy, right? And what I bring. But I am not responsible for picking up their energy. And I'm like, we can do this together, but I'm not, I don't know. I feel like I have that gift where I'm there with them.
You can separate. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm there with them, but I'm not, I don't carry it. And I think it's also part of rooting in my faith and making sure my foundation is straight and that I take care of myself, because I can't serve my clients if I'm not good.
Right.
So true. So
true.
So I have to, I make sure that my foundation is solid. My faith, I'm rooted. I have things that are in place for me to be well, so that I can serve them and I can pour out, and then they can go from there. But I don't get pulled down. I really don't.
You know, it's interesting. I feel like I could compare it to a doctor, whether it's a physical therapist or it's, you know, an oncologist or any doctor, or a coach, just like you're a coach. But that's why you're successful, because you can separate. I mean, there are some doctors who are just like, they have no bed. We call it no bedside manner. No bedside manner. They just like to check the boxes, and everything is vanilla and blah, blah, blah. And Gina said, that's good confirmation you were in the right role. Natasha.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're gonna love Gina. So I really love that insight. But so what do you do for yourself to make, I mean, obviously your faith, keep your family
Yeah.
first, all those things. What do you do for yourself to take care of yourself? Like, give us a week
Yeah.
of what you do to take care of you.
So what I do to take care of me. Okay. So first of all, like my faith is my rooting. Like let's say I don't hit a workout, which I've been the worst about that. Like listen, I have been called into a season of rest, which is being very, like, it was started around the end of last year where I was kicking and screaming because I am a recovering type A perfectionist. I'm always in recovery, y'all. Just so you know that.
Yep.
This is constantly a work in progress for me and I am an Enneagram 2 wing 1. So I'm literally the helper. I want to help people. And then you throw perfectionism on that. And then sometimes I swing to an Enneagram wing 3 where I'm an overachiever. So I literally have to be very intentional about rooting myself first, because it is natural for me to give and pour out.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've noticed is, because it's important to me to pour out and be there for my friends, my family, my clients, I have to pour into me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be as simple as literally making sure I start my morning right. So even if it's just a devotional, even if it's just a scripture that I affirm on, even if it's just getting a voice text from my mom, like it's so little and it varies every day. Mm-hmm. And now I'm on this process of like, I have to get back to working out because I'm like a former gymnast. I've worked out forever, and then I became an entrepreneur and just got all messy with it.
It makes you wacky. It makes you wacky. I'm like, I'm working out my brain. Why do I have to work out my body too? And
no, like, just honestly, I got caught up in the hustle.
Yeah.
And that's what's so beautiful about when I started my sales coaching business, when I started integrating that, it was in this season of me being pulled into a season of rest and being like intentional, just being more aware of what I say yes to, what I say no to, where I spend my energy, who I spend my time with. In that season was this shift, or this bringing this piece into my business. And that's where Heart Not Hustle came from.
Okay.
And I'm like, because I don't want people to feel like they have to hustle their business and sales. And I'm like, it's the season that I was in. It's like getting away from the hustle, because it seeps out, y'all. If you're not taking care of yourself and you're hustling yourself down, whether it shows up in your business or it shows up in your home, it's going to show up, and other people are affected by that. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it can be a variety of things. Yoga. If I can't make it to a hot yoga class, I literally put a yoga mat under my bed where I will roll it out. And I will just do some sun salutations and flows, and
that's a great idea.
Simple stuff. Simple
That's a
stuff.
Great idea. That is a great idea. My friend Chrissy is on here. Hi, Chrissy. And she, I wonder how she does it, because she works full time, I'm going to guess a high pressure job at a bank. And she has ever since we left college. And I've always looked up to her that way. Like, how do you pull it together? Because she's got kids and a husband and just did a big move. And I need to ask her about that. I always wonder, like, how do you do it? Because she probably is working with a bunch of men too, honestly. And that's probably a whole different mindset that you have to coach, is someone who's either working with a bunch of men or they're an entrepreneur trying to reach men rather than women. That's a whole nother mindset, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But can I touch on something too that you just brought up? I think that is sometimes where we trip up as women, is that we are so busy thinking that another woman has it all together.
Well, I don't think anybody has it all together. I just always wonder, how does she do it? I know. Yeah.
Oh,
She'd probably say, Kelsey, let's do a dump.
Right. Well, and it's not saying that you were thinking that, but I think that that's a real thing, though, is that a lot of women are like, what is wrong with me? Like, how is she doing it? How is she crushing it? She's doing this and she's doing that. And so we get ourselves worked up thinking that there's something wrong with us, or we're not doing enough, or we're not good enough. And really is like, if you get close to her and you have a conversation with her, a real conversation, you'll find out that she's more like you than not. And that she's just making it. No day ever looks the same. And I think as long as your heart is in the right place and you have good intentions, to be at your best and to do your best and to understand, to give yourself space and grace when you're not at your best, then you're good. Then you're good.
Yeah.
Just
so true. And I think that's such a fault of Instagram too, is that, you know, the comparison thing. It's just not fair and it's not real. Okay, you were talking about something that just going back a little bit, kind of burning yourself out, I want to say. Just even my teenage daughter, watching how hard she's working to get into the schools that she's applied to. It starts young with these, you know, type A, go personalities. What's the youngest person that you've helped through this? I mean, I know it's usually entrepreneurs, but I'm just curious because I think that you've probably got a segue that you could start leaning toward these young women that maybe aren't even in school yet, or they're in college and they don't know what they want to do, but they're still working towards a degree. I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting? Last month, I had a 19-year-old come to me where she chose not to go to college, and she actually chose to go and get her life coaching certification because she knew she was not called to go to college, but she was called to do life coaching. And it's more like strategy, goal setting. She's very strategic, very good. And I thought that was so interesting that she was able to make that decision very early instead of doing the thing that she knew she didn't want to do. And I was like, wow, like that's pretty profound. So I would say she's been the youngest person that's come to me. And that was as of last month, that she's just like, I want to do this. Right. Yeah. But even then, even at that age, same thing, right? It's like, how do I do this? Or how do I amount to that? Like, you know, all of us get caught up can get swept up into the hustle and trying to meet expectations that have been placed on us. And that's where that whole meaningful success comes from. When I start getting it, like when I'm coaching around that, helping women go from career to calling, it's literally the definition that was dropped in to my spirit around meaningful success was creating and cultivating what matters to you most and gives you purpose and joy. And that takes a lot of work to get there though. And I'm going to be honest, it is not easy, but it takes a special woman to say, you know what, like, and I don't mean special, like there's something that she has that you don't. It's just that it's that woman that's decided, right? Yeah. She's ambitious and she's decided, I don't want to do this. I know I'm called to do this. And it's not attached to how much money I make. It's not attached to how people are going to see me. It's not attached to how successful can I be doing it. But it's literally this inner pull where she's like, this is for me. This is for me. And this is what I want to do. Even if and that's even corporate women. Like I've had corporate women where they're like, this company does not align with me, my values, what I'm called to do. And I want to shift. And there's companies out there that are like that now, that are way more intentional, and they want their employees to really be there with purpose and intention and a desire. And so people, I think, are catching on to like, they can live a life like that. They don't have to do what our generation before us has told us, like, oh, you go to college, you get married, you have 2.5 kids, and you have picket fence. Like that doesn't have to be that way. And I think even our generation and even older are making those pivots to say, I want to do this. I'm called to do this, and I'm going to go build it.
Or we don't have to follow. Yeah, we don't have to follow society's standards at all.
No.
And I definitely see that. I think they've called this the year of the mother, and that's just another point in that direction. Is, you know, we're setting a different standard for society, and for
absolutely
women. It's super exciting, especially for what we do. I think it's super exciting.
It's mind blowing how fast and how rapid you see it happening, and it's a good time. Like it is a good time to be a woman.
Yeah.
and to like, there's so many doors that are open for us. That's why I tell people, I'm like, anything that you want to do, you can do.
Yeah, it's all
like,
in your
honestly,
head.
you have no excuse.
You just need a cheerleader. You need a coach. You need a cheerleader. And that brings me back to the conference, because you were saying, you know, you've got to believe in yourself, but you need to surround yourself with people. And I use the word like-minded, you know, in some of our marketing, our team does, because there's no other way to say it other than we know that we deserve a break. We need a break. We want to be motivated. We want to be inspired. It's basically like personal coaching, growth coaching all weekend long, as well as celebrating, as well as, you know, relaxing and having downtime and having those cocktails and just getting out of your routine. And but it's true. I mean, you either get that you need a break and that you deserve that, or you don't. So like-minded people. We're gathering like-minded women who know that they need that unforgettable time to refill their cup. So
and it's so needed.
Oh yeah.
It's so needed. You have to make time to be in the room. That's what I call it. Get in the room.
Get in the room. Ooh, maybe that should
get
be
in the
our
room.
theme. Get in the room. I was just talking
to
another gal where she said, well, what's your theme for the conference? And I said, well, we haven't even really pinned one down. We've never actually had a theme. And I know sometimes that helps people with their mindset of what they're expecting. Now I kind of like that. Get in the room.
Take it. It's all yours. Get in the room. Because when you, it's like, be there, be all there.
Yeah, be all present. There. Yeah, if you're going to go, don't skip two of the, you know, we've got everybody in one ballroom the whole time. There are no breakout sessions during the conference itself. There are a few workshops the day before, but it's like, if you're going to come and invest the time and the money and in yourself, go to the conference. Don't skip a speaker. That might be the speaker that would have actually spoken to you and it would have changed your life. So be all in. Get in the room and be all in. Sorry.
Get in the room.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and you spoke at Rise and you've spoken at several things. Where else have you spoken? Have you spoken for companies or what?
Yes, I have spoken for companies. I'm actually speaking at Athleta here in Charlotte. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. It's an event. The marketing coordinator reached out to me, and it's an event that they're doing that's in their store, and it's called Be Fearless and Unstoppable. And I'm excited. Like, I'm excited.
That is really cool.
I'm excited. So Athleta, I mean, but I'm the person too, like, if it's in alignment with me and it's a good fit, then I'll go. Like, as long as it's in alignment and it's good with me and the values and all that, then I'll go. Like, I'm not like, oh, I can only speak here. Like, I don't play that game. I go to serve.
So you'll be walking around the ballroom taking selfies with everybody. I know it.
I'm super
excited.
I'm like, let's get in conversation.
You're gonna be in the room.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the room.
You're going to be present. And that's a huge part of the women that we pick to grace our stage and to even just share stories on Lunch and Listen. Those are the people that are all in. They're emailing back and they're writing back and they're saying, yes, I want to be a part of this. And it's not about Bloom. It's not about me or Christine or Gina or anybody in our team. It's about reaching the women who need it. And I'm sure you've seen so many of those women. I bet you meet women and you're like, I just want to coach her so bad. How do I get into her head? Do you do that?
Sometimes it naturally happens, because when you know you've been given a gift. This is why I always say, explain this. The gift that I've been given is not for me. It's for me to impact and serve others.
Yes. Ooh, we need to write that down.
That's it. Right.
We need to write that down.
When I know that and I see someone that's in need and they've expressed that need to me, of course I want to help her. Of course. But I also am always respectful of the fact that it has to be right for her. Right.
Yeah.
And there's this saying, don't keep someone else's destiny trapped in your own mouth. So for me, I have this gift. It's not for me to keep trapped and hide behind it and be afraid to talk about it. No, like, I know I have this gift. I know it's to impact and serve others. And I want to share that. I want to help any woman that wants to be helped. Right. But I'm not going to drag you to help, though. I'm not going to make you do it.
Not dragging you. Yeah.
No, there's no need.
Well, and it's
no
like I just going back to the analogy of going to the doctor, and the doctor says, or the physical therapist, you need to do these exercises to feel better. Or the doctor says you have to take these supplements and go to this chemotherapy or whatever to feel better. If they don't take the directions that you're giving them to be that, entrepreneur who's selling with heart, not hustle, then it doesn't matter. And then they're just wasting everybody's time.
Yeah. And then they're wasting their time. And this is what I tell clients too. I'm like, listen, what you say about me matters to me more than your money.
Mm.
When you leave me, your experience and what you say about me and the experience that you have with me is way more important than me than your money, because money comes and goes. It's energetic. It's given from the source, and it's like in my hand one day and can be in your hand the next, and we live states away from each other. But what's really more important is, did you find value? Did you grow? What was your experience like? And was it that good that you would go tell other people about it?
Mm-hmm.
And in order for that to happen, you have to be all in with me, because I'm bringing my A game. I'm all in for you, your growth, what you desire. I take that very seriously and very personally. And so if that person isn't all in and they're not willing to do the work, then it's wasteful. It's wasteful.
Right. It is in so many ways. Oh, I love how.
And then their experience is bad.
Right.
And then
and
they feel like they wasted their money.
They're going to walk away, and they're going to be able to blame everybody when it's them
Yes.
that didn't move forward. So that's the icky part of it. But I'm sure that probably doesn't happen a lot.
No, it doesn't. But it's because I'm very intentional, and I say that up front before they sign a contract, before I send a proposal on the strategy call. I tell them that, because I want them to know I'm taking this serious. When I commit to this and I say yes to you, I need a full commitment and a yes back from you on your end, because it does. What your experience, how you show up, the growth that you experience is important to me. It matters to me, because I know what it's like to invest for growth when you feel like you don't have it. Like I've been there. And so I take that very seriously, and I don't play around with people's money, period. Like I just don't do it. I don't
their minds. Well,
yes, exactly.
You play around a little bit with their minds, but in a positive way.
Yeah. Only in a positive way. Yeah.
Okay, so can you leave us with maybe a few takeaways of something that an entrepreneur who just might need a little lift in her spirit, maybe sales are slow, or she's just not ready to launch that thing she's been working on. Maybe it's a new blog or something. Can you give us, hi, Christine, there's our mother hustler. Can you give us just a few little takeaways before we end our call?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest things, and it may sound cliche, but just like, don't give up and don't give in. Like, you've got to believe with crazy faith that what you're creating and what you're wanting is worth it. You have to believe that, because on the days when it sucks, let's just be real, you got to go back to why you're doing this. And you have to understand that your calling and your gifting is not just about you. It is about the countless women, other women, lives, men, whoever, that you're going to impact by actually showing up with that gift. And so when you know that, and you are like, you know what, I know that I'm creating this because it's going to impact other people. When you come back to that, you root in that truth, it allows you to keep going and keep going, because entrepreneurship is about resiliency. It's about going and going and going and pivoting and being okay with the shift, and being okay when it sucks, being okay when you're not making money. It's being okay when the dip. You got to go back to that over and over and over, because if it's attached to anything that's superficial and that's not rooted, you'll be out.
I feel like I should be going, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah. I need a mic, like mic drop. Right. I need a mic drop. Seriously.
It's so true. Like, you have to know that you know that it's not just about you, and that it's about who it's going to impact. And then I would say with sales, it's know how to articulate what you do with confidence, ease, and grace. And if you don't have the system, or you're afraid, get help. Even if it's not from me, get help, because sales is a skill set. It's not something that I'm good at and you're not. It's a skill set. So if you don't have it, or you're struggling with it, or you know you want to grow, and like you're here and you want to go there, get the help, because all of us, even me, I even have my own coach, right? So in different areas for my business. So get with someone that can help you, because you show up differently when you go invest and you hire someone to help you, and you have a sense of accountability to keep you going and to keep you on that trajectory of growth.
Ooh, that's really
huge.
Someone watching you.
Yeah, because other things you'll throw it off. You're like, oh, not today. I'm tired. And no, but when you've invested your money, you're going to also be willing to invest your time and your effort. And so get someone that can help you. And yeah, and get your booty to bloom, because
exactly.
I'm going to be in the room
dance,
and I can't wait. I'm excited.
Okay, you know what's crazy is it's 12:53. That time flew by. I don't know if I've even done a lunch and listen this long. It flew by. So I don't know about the rest of you, but oh my gosh, that was fun. And I can't wait to see you in person. Thank you so much for joining me. And
thank you for the opportunity.
No,
thank you for the opportunity. And I want to say thank you for creating what you're creating for people, because I know what you do is not easy. When you create a movement and you create something that's from the heart, it's not easy. It comes with a lot of hard work. It comes with a lot of time. So thank you for trusting me to be a part of that, because I know this is your baby. And when you extend the opportunity for someone else, I never, ever, ever take that for granted. So thank you for what you're putting out across the country with Bloom. Because it's needed. Clearly it's needed. So I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. I'm grateful. I'm super grateful.
I just love you. Thank you so much. It is. It's entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart at all.
No.
But then when I go to Bloom, I get my bucket filled. So it's all good.
There you go. There you go.
I do it as much for me as everybody else. You know this, right?
Right.
I get the getaway. I get the inspiration and the motivation and the time with my girlfriends. I'm not stupid. Come on, ladies. Follow my lead. We got it going. Gina and Christine are like, yep, we know.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Natasha. And we will see you in a few months. Okay. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.